try and keep this short, and yet I try to keep it meaningful. If you're a teacher or an administrator going into the new school year and focused on some of the major curricular changes from coast to coast that have included a lot more emphasis on Indigenous issues, some of the wrongs that have been committed towards Indigenous people, and trying to have kids come to learn, then this is for you. You could, as a school or as a classroom, focus your entire year around the teachings, the seven sacred teachings. I call them the seven sacred teachings, although they vary, yes? And they are universal. It's not unlike Mother Earth. When I travel around the world, everyone refers to Mother Earth as Mother Earth. It's not something that First Nation or Inuit communities created, Mother Earth. It's everywhere. Mother Earth, because we come from her and we go from her. The teachings are also relevant. That's some real common sense beliefs that if we build our lives and our community around these teachings, around these sacred things, we'll have a better community there. In China, there are 5 that are exactly the same as are our 7, and 2 that are a little different. Amongst the Dene, there are 10 teachings, the Dene laws. They change, but in essence, if you planned your whole school year around the teachings, it would rock. I mean, there's just so much. So let me give you a little taste of this. There are 7 directions. 4 of the medicine wheel, and then up, down, and within. And with each of these directions, you could focus a month. I mean, let's just take one, for example. The sun rises in the east. Thus, the first teaching has as its color yellow, period. The medicine wheel, no matter where you are in Canada, what nation you belong to, yellow is the color on the medicine wheel that you would see there because the sun rises there. Likewise, if you're even Muslim, you pray to the east where the sun rises. Yes, you're on your knees facing the east. So the color is yellow. The teaching is humility. Why? Because we're born humble. Our lives begin in the east and then they go around the wheel. Yes? So you're born humble. That's the first of the teachings. And what does it say? It says that we have to recognize that in the greater scheme of things, we're not big, we're small. And say what you may, we can. If you're humble, you will not attack your neighbors and try to force your beliefs upon them. That's something that we don't run around screaming, we're number one. We don't do that. That's not what it means to be humble. The first teaching is humility. The color associated with that one is yellow. The animal that represents humility is wolf. Why? When the wolf walks back into the pack, her head is bowed in reverence. She's not afraid of her leader. She possibly could kill the leader, but that's not the point. She understands that the family is greater than the individual, and that is the epitome of humility. We look to wolf as a reminder of humility. The color, yellow. The teaching, humility. And finally, what plant do we associate with that? Well, frankly, there are 4 sacred plants to Indigenous people, and the first plant that we associate with humility is sweetgrass. Why? Because that's where we're born, and sweetgrass is the hair of Mother Earth. Sweetgrass, yellow, the wolf, humility. And then there are 7 keys. There are 7 keys. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. I know, isn't that coincidental? And the first key is the key of C. It's the key of humility. And the tree that we associate with humility is that whose branches weep down like this. Yes? Weeping. There's just so much that you can learn just about that one direction. And if you taught students and staff and community members to be humble and to appreciate that, you can paint these on the walls. You can do all kinds of exercises focused on them. You can study the wolf, look at legends, look at... So I just wanted to say very quickly, if you're going into the school, you're thinking, what can we do as a universal focus? We could focus on the 7 sacred teachings, and there's a ton of material out there. You know, I've written something for older kids, the 7 sacred teachings. For younger ones, we learn from the sun, and it goes on and on. But it's there's a lot of pertinent, relevant, really good material based on that. And now more and more, you're finding stuff on social media that is just frighteningly good. So I wanted to make known before I walk away from this topic that if you're looking for something to focus on in relations to Indigenous studies, man, I'd start with the teachings, the spirituality of Indigenous people, and how through all of what it's been through, First Nation people are still able to, Inuit people are still able to, after the resistance of 1885 and what Métis people went through, Métis people are still able to hold their heads high and see future, see hope, and see and it comes from that spirituality that's pretty special. So start with that. I don't mind saying as well that if you as a school are looking for a focus, reading is a pretty good place to start. And I'll speak to that in my next video. So for now, 7 teachings, spirituality, and there's a whole world. If you need some help, you know where I am. Come and see me.